This is a C programming code presented by Group 6 members with the title Tennis Match Scoreboard. The question was, write a program which displays the scores of a tennis match. Study how the scores are registered and write a program to display real-time scores to the audience of a match. So this was the code written in C. This is the final result of the code and the first testing part. So we have player 1 name. I'm going to put the lecturer's name here, Dr. Peter. Then player 2, I'll put mine as Nzanda. Now the dashboard displays Dr. Peter set and Nzanda sets all 0, games all 0, points all 0. Then current scores 0-0. Enter the player who won. So here I'll stick with player 1 here, which is Dr. Peter. His point goes here to 1, while mine is at 0. I do the same thing down. Point goes to 2 and mine still at 0. Same thing. I keep on adding 1 point to Dr. Peter at every case, so we can see the result in this case. So now his game at the point where here he has his game at 1, so we add, and then the point at 0. So when the point adds up at the point where it has to reach 4, the game just adds up at 1 automatically. So the only two keys I have to punch is 1 and enter. So we have here point at 1. So I'll add for Dr. Peter till the point where the set reaches at 1. So we can see this. Game at 2, I keep on adding because I'm not yet there. We have game at 3, I keep adding. Game at 4, I keep adding till the game reaches at 5. At the point 6, the game changes at once to the set side. 5. And the sets at 1 finally. So the set at 1, game at 0, point at 0. Now the set at 1, the game is at 0 and the point keeps summing. The point will sum till when the point reaches 4, it goes to the game, adds the game by 1. When the game sums up until it reaches 5, at the point where it has to change to 6, it adds to the set and the set changes by another extra 1, which makes the set to be 2. So if we continue this, it's just the same thing. 1 1 till so on and so forth. Now if I do a second testing case where we have player 1's name as same name, Dr. Peter, enter, and then the second player's name as Nzanda, enter. Then this case everything is at 0 back. In this case now everybody will have 1-1 like a tie. So we have here the first player to win, I put Dr. Peter. The second player, I put player number 2, who is Nzanda. Then they all have 1-1 point, 15-15. Same thing, Dr. Peter. The next one, Nzanda. Ouch. He comes here. But the press this thing 2 times. Oh my gosh. Anyways, he comes here. Then I put the next one to be Nzanda. Enter. We have here Nzanda again, enter. Then we have here Dr. Peter, and then from here now, since they both had a tie at this point, then getting down here, Dr. Peter arrived at 4 points before Nzanda arrived, so Dr. Peter has an advantage while over Nzanda. Yes, so here I give a point to Nzanda. Now they are both at 4 points. They both have an advantage. Now when I add a point to Dr. Peter, it doesn't, because the other part it round up when I add a point. When I added a point, it rounded up to the games part. But here, since they both have an advantage, when I add a point, it adds to the point and the point goes to 5 instead of the game going to 1. So I add another point again, and now since they both had an advantage, and then I added another point to Dr. Peter, so he has a point, or a game of 1, and everybody has 0 points, and Nzanda has 0 games. So these were the problems, the difficulties we faced, but from such research we tried to solve them, and we have this.